Hey everyone, welcome to another YouTube art video. Now, this will be very different from my usual stuff that I do because I am a little bit busy and I figured because it's Halloween anyways, that I do something a little bit fun and appropriate for this holiday. And I've seen different versions of this around, but I'm really just gonna call it the thigh thing because that's what I like to call it. But I just wanted to give a little short explanation as to why this thing sort of works and use technical knowledge to give you the reasoning for it. So, art is just symbols, and this is something that you kind of learn very quickly, but it's also something you always go back to even as you're getting more experience. Now, of course, as you are getting more, if you improve your work and you're getting more experience, you're going to start using symbols which are a lot more nuanced than what I drew here. But even with this rough, horrific drawing of an eye, we still associate this with symbols and something that we recognize as representational from our reality. So, knowing this, we are able to do something more creative than just being literal in all our drawings. And what I mean by literal is you just clearly depict the exact thing with thick lines and just very continuous, very boring. So as you can see here, you are able to complete the image of a cube here because I give you enough hints that it's a cube. We actually are able to do this within our minds. We don't need every single detail to know what something is something as long as you have the enough evidence and enough hints of something that we will be able to complete these images in our heads, and it makes it a lot more interesting to look at and a huge part to why my painting style works. It's something that I like to incorporate because I know that again, I don't need to be super detailed and super clean to get the representational symbols onto the canvas for people to understand. With that, we get into the idea of silhouettes. So, as you can see here, silhouettes are a major part to how we see the world and understand the world because, again, we associate what we know with symbols that we know of in reality. So, showing even this simple silhouette, you'll understand that this is, of course, a female centric body. Of course, like I said before, this is rather boring because you're just having this giant blob, giant mass of silhouette with really nothing to show for it. It's just kind of there. Design's very boring, even though it's widely understood what it is. So, in order to make it more interesting, of course, we get into that thigh thing that I talked about earlier. This is where many designs, many character designs, including anime and video games, they like to use this sort of thing. Of course, you can always justify it with stockings, which is the official clothing name for it, but this is the sort of thing and the reason, the technical reasons why it works. I'm bringing up the silhouette here in order to make it more interesting, but giving you enough hints in order for you to complete the drawing and know that this is, of course, the same as what I showed you when it's completely filled in. So, this is why it works. Of course, there's always these sexual connotations behind it, but I'm not going to go through that. However, of course, you can always push it like a lot of these animes, and you can start adding a little bit of fat to your design here. Hopefully that makes sense. That's all I really wanted to say. Happy Halloween.